What's up guys, Kuro here. This time I bring you guys the Thea. For this agility blessing build, our damage came from her hero trial, prediction reincarnation, plus 4 additional damage per stack of focus blessing regained recently. So with this and the level 80 trial prediction justice, your agility blessing maximum stack will apply to your focus blessing. So as you can see, when we regain agility blessing, it will convert to, so when we consume focus blessing, our agility blessing will apply to focus blessing. So it's like the focus blessing will keep moving and our agility blessing will keep applying to it, and that's how we get 2.1 billion damage per hit. I show you again. Wait for the buff to drop. 2 seconds, we get 999 and it will get to 2.1 billion per hit. And that's how the mech works for Thea Hero Trial Agility Blessing build. This additional damage per stack of focus blessing regained recently, there is no limit to it. It's unlimited. This additional damage can keep stacking. Just that the game have a limit is 2.1 billion damage per hit. That is the limit for the game. And the other limit that the Torchlight Infinite Death think of is like this 24 chance to gain a stack of agility blessing whenever divine punishment consume 1 stack of focus blessing. 24 stack. It's best that we get 50% chance, so one is 24, the other I have is 23. If you have more than 50% chance to regain agility blessing, you'll find that your damage will not go too high. Your damage have dropped and you don't really get 2.1 billion damage per hit. This is something from the death that they think of because they didn't nerf this. So they have one new mech is your chance to gain agility blessing can't be higher than 50%. So I can even use this. It's still 2.1 billion damage. But my chance of gaining additional stack of focus and agility blessing can't be 50%. I have a 35%, but don't really need this. Just get a 25% chance to gain a stack of agility blessing. I have 2, so I have around like 47%. I didn't go for maximum. That time it was expensive. And then the other one is regain 2 stack of focus blessing. This is a must. And try to find a regain 2 stack of focus blessing with chance of critical strike to get focus blessing. Same for the other 2. These 2 mob, this is your main, and this one depend on how expensive it is. Neither is chance for focus blessing critical strike like this one, or the other damage or type, or even the divine punishment cooldown also good, just that it will be expensive, so have to depend how much you have. And 36, and for the other main from your hero relic is this. The minus the cooldown of your divine punishment. At the start I just used this. It was expensive, I think 100 over, but now the price have dropped. So if you can afford a minus 40%, 40 or 41% cooldown, it will be much better. It's like the divine punishment is like how fast it go. The minus 50% is the best, but that would be like expensive, 4,000 or 5,000 flame alley. And this is how her hero trial works. This build only work on Thea. Other hero can't use this. Same like when in season 1 when I share Berserker burst build, that only work on Rihan Berserker. And this one is just based on her hero trial. And then next I talk about the equipment that we need. I find that Fallen Knight helmet, we can craft it. You can use this, or based on the, like, I didn't get max life, 100 max life. I got the one that addition physical damage taken, and I didn't get for this one I get critical strike damage. At the start it helped, but at the back it doesn't really help a lot. So I use a minus additional damage against nearby enemy. And then for the chest, I find that it's physical damage, life, activate, skill level, erosive, element resistant, and then critical strike rating. We really need critical strike rating. As long as your critical strike rating is 45 to 50%, your damage will be crazy. And for attack speed, try to be for attack speed, just use 30 trick to test. Where's my weapon? This one. For attack speed, use your 30 trick. And from your skill here, you can just add in one add erosive damage. I don't need to do that because my weapon already have it. Around 500 to 600 is T1. Now I have T1 attack speed. Tier 1 attack speed. Sometimes it shows 16%, sometimes it shows 13%, so I'm not really sure. So I always use these around 500 to 550 to 600. It's around T1 or T2, can't remember. As long as you have enough attack speed, enough critical strike rating, the way we build up the damage will be very fast, in between of 2 seconds, 3 seconds. 3 seconds is okay, just that 3 seconds you'll find that it take very long when you are like fighting bosses or doing a map run. Sometimes there's some problem with the map enemy. It's like the damage when you stack up, it doesn't apply to the enemy and you are hitting him with no additional damage. Like, I'm not sure is it a bug or what, the additional damage doesn't apply. Then it's like a bit annoying. Other than that, it's fine. And then acquisite box, try to get defense skill effect. And then the cooldown recovery speed, see if you can afford. If not, the normal version is okay. The box I got it myself, I corrode it myself. just that I didn't spend on Acquisite Box. The whole gear, I believe this now is my around endgame. My endgame gear, so it's like around 5 to 6,000 frame area or more. And the other one is the Touch of the Dark Surge. Try to get Agility Blessing +2. Attack and Critical Strike, try to get a +1. Don't get negative. But you have to see how much you can afford. And you have to search in the trade house. Oh yeah, I forgot to say why I use this chest is because a chance to gain Agility Blessing on Critical Strike, so that our Agility Blessing will not drop. So when you buy this chest or you want to craft it yourself, that's why I don't dare to corrode it. Because if they override this base state, you are fucked. So for belt, infinite belt, this I recommend versatile, increase your attack and cast speed. The cast speed apply to attack speed. And then erosive resistant and element resistant. So before I got this at 1300 flame area. This I got it at 5 or 600 flame area. As you can see, my resistance sucks. So it's really best that you get erosive resistant and element resistant. If not, you have to drop this damage. If you can't get element resistant, you can try to drop this and craft your own shoe with resistance. But your damage will drop because this familiar step, Agility Blasting +2. I don't think now much people sell this. Most people sell Agility Blasting +2 stack. So I have this because this will be much cheaper than having a max Agility Blasting +2 stack at the bottom one. So I got this like only 20 or 30 frame area. And then for your chaotic ending, it's a must to get Agility Blessing and Focus Blessing. But if in the beginning you can't afford, you try to get Agility Blessing +2. I bought it at 800. It's like it's really expensive. Just nice that these two is plus like critical strike rating for amount of Agility Blessing I have. So 800 for both ring. Yeah, I think around 7 or 800, can't remember. And then for weapon, now a lot of players they sell it cheap for filtered corroded one. For me, we don't really need erosive damage. The best state that we need for weapon is this one. Physical damage for mark, and then yeah, for there's two, and another one is apply damage to life. I recommend gear attack speed. And then for the offhand, you can use this as reference. It's best that these two weapons have chance to gain Agility Blessing on critical strike, so that we don't really run out of Agility Blessing. And for this gear physical damage 180, this one is an Omi Ember mob. We can apply 2 Omi Ember on the tag on the weapon. Just that this I always spend like 400 over just to get these 2, so it's not really worth it. Right now it's really 2 more weeks to the new season, so if can, just go to the trade house and find the dagger. Just search for these 2 and then get this shadow and this one. So just search for these 4. Don't really need to buy this filtered corrupted one. Try to find a cheap one. Shadow quality +1. 150. Like for me, I will buy this. Not really. This one minus resistance. So you still have to see what is the... Like this type, you can bought one for your offhand, because this increase your shadow range. It helps when you are doing pull for brave and running map. You don't need to chase after enemy. You auto target them and they are die. The erosive damage doesn't really matter. So I even have one myself. Also element damage. But this one is critical strike damage. And it's a few corroded. Oh. So like one hand, main hand is attack speed, off hand is the shadow trigger range. And this one I carve it myself just to test around with, yeah, I have a lot that is filled. This is, I haven't override this one yet. But not going to use it anymore. Sometimes this element damage is okay, it also can be used. Yeah, I can use it, just that I short of one shadow. And that is basically the equipment that we need. And for the at the start, the helmet and the chest, I don't think player can get it. So these two is flexible. But for this, the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This 6 is fixed. Weapon, you can use Fatal Fast so that you can play around with Shadow Strike. Not Shadow Strike, sorry. You can play around with the Flame Slash. Or Mark of Ring of Arrow by using the King Lion Heart. You can try to get the chance to gain 2 or 3 stack of Agility Blessing when you hit an Ignite enemy. There's a few corrupted one that is sell cheap. You can go try and get a King Lion. Do I have it marked? Like something like this. This is really good. Just that the chance to gain Agility Blessing, try to get 2, don't get 1. I think 2 is already enough. Then for the shoe, sometimes it's like these have resistance, and you also have max agility blessing. You can see if you want to buy it, but 500, I don't think so. This just, and this one for the helmet, you can get focus blessing on the base mob, but it doesn't have much resistance. Maybe this fire and, oh yeah, this fire is a bit, lightning will be much better, but just a recommend. And for the other, I use it when I was leveling. I use this chest when I haven't crafted armor yet, so I use double rainbow. It helps you increase your damage. With the item that I have, so before you can craft these 2 helmet and chest, you can go for opening heart. And the chest use rainbow, just that the erosive resistance usually fucked up. But we have the damage. So if you are leveling, right now I'm leveling, so if you are leveling, you have from 96, you still can have all your resistance be negative, but after you are level 96, you need to, from 96 to 100, you really need resistance so that you don't die. Wait for the buff to drop. Around 3 seconds to get 2.1 billion. So between this crafting chest and helmet, it's like it reduces the time for stacking up the damage. Like neither you go for opening heart who have favor, or this one, lens of the maid assistant. These have attack speed, all that. This the attack speed will be like too high. You can change the spirit to flame. So that is like 46. Oh yeah, I forgot to change this. Just that with this lens, your additional bonus to spell damage also apply to attack damage. When you have this, you can use the... But you have to go change the skilling. Like you can use soul, don't really need soul eating because we are not element. We can add in mana boy. Like yeah, we can add in mana boy, but then we will lack of some element resistance. And this I can change back. Like if you have this King of Lionheart for range one, you can use the lens, this lens, and this weapon. It's not bad. I used to use it to kill bosses, just that I have no resistance. And this is for basically the equipment and the alternative that you can use. And for the skilling, I use double thrust for Shadow Strike, and this is the link. These two is the main. I will not these three, red, hunt, and this one. You can even change the critical strike damage to attack focus. Wait for the buff. It's like also 2 seconds. With and without the critical strike damage for me right now doesn't really affect much. So if you really lack of critical strike, just use these three that increase your critical strike rating, so that you can build up your damage as fast as possible. And then bling, I like to use emergency, and I use this for survive. Because I'm leveling for even low, before your equipment is good and your resistance is negative, you can use Bloodthirst Recovery. I got level 21 for 1 Flame Alley. I'm not sure why. Someone that not sure why it sells so cheap. And this is the link, and then Compound Potion is a mask. And neither you use Charging Warcry if you have enough damage, or use Bull Rage. Is that Bull Rage not for me right now? The Bull Rage, if you are using Bull Rage, then your Warlock, you can get the Empower skill effect. I didn't take that. Like you can go for filing, like drop this defense and go for filing. But I just like to use the Charging Warcry. Extra Shadow Strike. Extra Shadow Strike. Here it say +1 quality, but you can go test it out. There's a bug. It's not +1, it's +2. A few players have tested. That's what I'm not the only one that find that it gives you extra one more Shadow Strike. It's not +1, it's +2. That's why I use the Charging Warcry. This is the link. And for passive, try to get Precise Death Pack. Bloodthirst maximum level. Secret Origin max level. Fearless Precise. You'll get melee attack speed if you have Precise. I didn't get level 21. Too expensive. And then element resistant. Shadow Thunder Spirit. And this is a mask so that your shielded life will give you, will shielded less on your life. Like this thing costs 100. Like level 1, you can level 1 as story level up to level 20. And restrain, I have a level 21. So it's like depend how much you have. And if your critical strike is not enough, try to get 2 spirit. One is attack speed, one is crit. If not, then don't need. If you have enough, all this you have to go test it out. And then this is our defense. Try to get this 4. If you really don't have enough, you can drop this and change it to here, like Safeguard Ring, but I don't recommend it. It's best that put it here so it will auto cast. Like with high cooldown, 146 or 120 something. And this is the skilling for the endgame one. If you haven't get to endgame, you have to adjust it according to your own life and to your own tilted mana. Sometimes you can't really follow other player 100% because of everyone mana and life is different, because our level is different. So you can try to use it as reference. Even this restraint, if this is level 20, then your life will suited more. For me, I use a level 21 magic source. You can use a level 61, but your mana regen will not be that fast. And that's it for the skilling. Now I talk about the talent. We are using Goddess of Hunting, Dread, and Warlock. And Dissection, attack and cast speed for per 15 dexterity. And because we are keep moving, additional damage. And this is what I use. Each spell skill used recently. Your aura, but not your aura, your passive from the auto shield. He casts all your shield is a spell skill, so you should have increased critical strike damage. I'm still testing out, but I find that it should be increase your damage. This doesn't matter. Like all these you can don't need it because I'm level 99. And for Dread, this gives us a lot of attack speed. And the other one is nowhere to be found. This will remove the negative effect when you gain agility blessing. So when you're hitting enemy, when you're running mad, when you hit enemy, your erosive damage will drop. But if you don't hit any enemy and you get hit by erosive AoE damage, your life will keep dropping. That's why I have 2 life regen. Bloodthirst is just to regain some of it. Sometimes if your HP is too low. And life, cast speed, critical strike. And our regen, one of our defense mech is having this, restore 2% of life and receive agility blessing. With amount of 14, I have 14, so it's like my regen is like 2000, 20,000. So I don't really die, but I need to hit enemy. If I don't hit enemy, I will die because of your resistance, neither element or erosive resistance. Because I'm not max. And this also cast speed, and then cast speed. All these restore your life when you severe injury. It helps. And then increase our dex. Dex and intelligence increase your cast speed. So with increase of these, you increase your attack speed here and increase your damage. The dexterity. Oh, not this one. It's this one. Yeah. And this one is agility blessing. Cast speed per agility blessing. So that's why with this build you have a lot of attack speed, and it's very easy to get T2 or T1 attack speed tier. And I don't think this helps because we are not casting. And this is the passive link for Dread, and then Warlock. Merciless, this for attack speed convert into attack speed apply to your cooldown recovery speed. And we have a lot of attack speed and cast speed, so you apply to your cooldown. And then off the beaten track, +3 support level. This up to player. I take away this one, and then I get it here. And then attack speed, crit, life, suited mana. At the beginning, suited mana really helped. And then defense skill plus defense skill level, and then cooldown recovery speed plus extra charge. Then damage all skill +1 level. And then this increase your movement speed when you are mapping. It helps to run faster. Another one is a minor skill cost on your mana. It helps. And then +3 element resistance. For me, I'm like farming and leveling together. So if I die, I'm fucked. So it's best that get a lot of element resistance. If you have pack, just get element resistance. It's best that you just level until level 96 and then get all element resistance on your pack, so that you will get some pressure from your equipment, so that it's like I can get until 75, around 75, but the erosive resistance is hard. So basically I have like sometime when you adjust too much, it's bug. Go back to the hideout again, re-enter the hideout to reset your suited life and suited mana. Sometimes it's bug, and now it's fixed. So I have 2600 life. I find that it's fine, and that is for the talent. Now I do one mech run. This is a time mark 8 map. So at the start you will build up the damage. After your damage have been built up, you will kill the enemy very fast. But if you didn't hit the enemy for 3-4 seconds, you have to rebuild the stack again, the additional damage stack. For movement, you can use the Spear Strike, just that I don't like to use Spear Strike. You can use Blink, because I find that Spear Strike is a bit annoying, because sometimes the enemy drop down cage or the bone spike, you can't run out of it and then you die. After you charge up, they basically die very fast. What's this? So with your offhand, with the shadow trigger range, this helped a lot for mapping. Like after you charge up, they basically die. Just that it take you every time, it's like 3-4 seconds, depend on your equipment. And I have other boss fight. When I was streaming the boss fight, some of it's at the February or March, can't remember. For the final endgame build, I haven't go try out the boss yet, but you still kill them very fast. to a T3 pirate. See how should be able to kill it. Didn't get to kill it on my little fresh. What is this one? The barrel? What? Go top. And then go bottom. Go stand in the corner, wait for him to jump back. Next phase. Yeah, I can kill it fast enough. And then we're in the corner again. Wait for him to jump back. And then kill it. Haha! So easy. And that basically it for this build, Thea Agility Blessing build. Good luck from fighting all the gear that you need, and hope that it's cheap, because in the auction house at end season, most of the item is expensive, and for the weapon, try to find the one that you need. And that's it. If you find that this guide is helpful, give me some like and subscribe. If you have any question, can comment down below. I try my best to reply. Thank you guys. See ya. Bye.